Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable Lincoln Old Wheat penny coins value and market in dollar. So let's get started. First up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and is part of the iconic Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. The year 1942 is notable because it falls right in the middle of World War II, when the United States was mobilizing its economy and resources for the war effort. While 1943 would see the unique steel penny produced due to copper shortages, the 1942 cent was still made in the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. On the obverse, the coin features Abraham Lincoln's portrait in profile, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1942 to the right. Since this coin does not have a mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia. The reverse features the classic wheat design, with two wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and the legend "United States of America" with E pluribus unum at the top. This design had already been in use for over 30 decades by 1942 and would continue for another 16 years, becoming one of the most enduring and recognizable in U.S. coinage. The coin you described is in damaged condition, with some scratches, meaning it has undergone heavy circulation and surface wear over the decades. In such a state, the finer details of Lincoln's portrait, his hair, and the reverse wheat stalks are mostly flattened or worn, though the main design remains identifiable. The scratches reduce its numismatic appeal, and the damage indicates it may have been exposed to rough handling or environmental factors like moisture or abrasion. From a collector's standpoint, 1942 cents are common, with the Philadelphia Mint producing over 223 million coins that year. Because of this large mintage, the coin is not considered rare, and its value today depends almost entirely on condition. In damaged condition with scratches, the 1942 Philadelphia Wheat penny has a modest market value, typically around 2 to 5 cents. Coins in fine or very fine conditions sell for 10 to 25 cents, while uncirculated examples with bright red luster can reach $2 to $5. Professionally graded coins in top mint state grades can command even higher prices. Despite its low monetary value, the 1942 penny carries historical significance. It was minted at a time when pennies were part of the everyday economy and even contributed to the war effort indirectly, as copper was essential for ammunition, wiring, and other military materials. Unlike the steel pennies of 1943, which were produced to conserve copper, the 1942 cent represents the last full copper production before the temporary wartime change. This gives it a subtle but meaningful historical context.
First up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark is one of the most unique and easily recognizable coins in United States history. The small S below the date shows that this coin was minted at the San Francisco Mint during World War II. Unlike most Lincoln wheat pennies, which were made of copper, the 1943 cent was struck in zinc-coated steel. This change happened because copper was a critical war material needed for ammunition and military equipment, so the U.S. Mint temporarily replaced copper with steel for 1 year only. As a result, the 1943 steel penny stands out with its silver-gray appearance and strong historical importance. The design of the coin remains the classic Lincoln wheat penny design, created by Victor David Brenner. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse displays two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent. Even though the design is familiar, the steel composition gives the coin a completely different look and feel compared to regular bronze wheat pennies. The San Francisco Mint produced approximately 191 million steel cents in 1943, making the 1943 S issue less common than the Philadelphia version, but still widely collected today. Your coin is described as being in good condition with some scratches, which means it has noticeable wear from circulation. In good condition, Lincoln's portrait is worn but still recognizable, with major details visible though flattened. The date and mint mark are readable, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are visible but lack sharp detail. Scratches are common on steel cents because the zinc coating wears easily, and once that coating is damaged, the underlying steel can show marks and discoloration. Some steel pennies also develop dark spots or light rust over time, which further affects their appearance and value. In today's market, a 1943 S steel penny in good condition generally has a value of around $1 to $3 USD. Coins with fewer scratches and better original zinc coating may sell for $3 to $5, while examples in very fine or extra fine condition can reach $10 to $15. Uncirculated 1943 S steel pennies with bright original surfaces and no rust can sell for $20 to $40 or more, especially if they are professionally graded. Because your coin has some scratches and circulation wear, its value would most likely fall near the lower end of the range, approximately $1 to $2. Even though the 1943 steel penny is not extremely rare, it holds strong appeal because of its historical origin. These coins circulated during one of the most critical periods in American history, when the country was fully involved in World War II. Every steel penny represents sacrifice and adaptation, showing how even everyday objects like coins were changed to support the war effort. This historical background makes the 1943 S steel penny especially interesting to collectors and history enthusiasts alike. When it comes to preservation, steel pennies require extra care. Cleaning is strongly discouraged as it can remove the remaining zinc coating and expose the steel, leading to rust and further damage. Instead, the coin should be stored in a dry, moisture-free holder, such as a coin flip or capsule, to protect it from humidity. Proper storage helps prevent corrosion and preserves the coin's condition for the future.
Next up, the 1927 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint and is part of the long-running Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which began in 1909 and continued until 1958. This series remains one of the most collected and admired in U.S. numismatics, largely because of its classic design, historical significance, and the enduring popularity of Abraham Lincoln's image. On the obverse, the coin features Lincoln's profile facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," to the left is Liberty, and to the right is the date, 1927, with the small D mint mark below the date indicating it was struck in Denver. The 1927 D issue had a mintage of approximately 63 million coins, which makes it less common than some Philadelphia issues of the same year, but still generally obtainable for collectors. The coin you described is in fine condition with some scratches, meaning it has seen moderate circulation but still retains most of its major design details. In coin grading terms, fine indicates that Lincoln's portrait is fully visible, though some hair details may be worn, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are clear but show wear in the central areas. Scratches, often caused by handling or contact with other coins, slightly reduce its eye appeal, but do not significantly detract from its overall collectability. The composition of the coin is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown color when new. Over time, oxidation has likely darkened the coin, and the scratches may have caused some uneven toning, but collectors often value coins with natural patina, as it adds character and indicates authenticity. Coins from the 1920s often show a range of shades from red to brown to dark brown, depending on storage conditions, circulation, and environmental exposure. In terms of monetary value, condition plays the most important role. The 1927 D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition with minor scratches typically sells for around $2 to $5 in today's market. Coins in very fine condition can bring $50 to $100, while uncirculated examples, particularly those with full red luster, may sell for $25 to $50 or more depending on grading and eye appeal. Exceptional specimens certified by professional grading services can command even higher prices due to rarity and quality.
Beyond monetary value, the 1927 penny carries historical significance. It was produced during a period of post-World War I recovery and economic growth in the United States prior to the Great Depression. Pennies like this circulated in daily life, buying small goods such as newspapers, candy, or postage stamps. Each coin passed through countless hands, making it a tangible link to the lives of ordinary Americans nearly a century ago. The scratches and wear on this coin tell a story of decades of circulation, giving it character and authenticity. While it may not be rare, it is a meaningful addition for collectors seeking to complete a Denver Mint wheat penny collection or those interested in coins from the Roaring '20s. Its copper content, though modest, also adds a subtle intrinsic value.
Next up, the 1926 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic early Lincoln cent struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark below the date. It is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse. By 1926, this design had already become a familiar and trusted part of everyday American currency, widely used during a period of economic growth just before the Great Depression. Coins from the 1920s are especially appealing to collectors because they represent a formative era in modern U.S. history. This coin was minted in the standard bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. When new, it had a reddish tone that naturally darkened over time due to circulation and exposure, often becoming red-brown or brown in color. The Philadelphia mints produced approximately 157 million Lincoln cents in 1926, making it a common date overall. However, the value of any individual coin depends heavily on its condition and any damage present. Your coin is described as being in fine condition with some scratches and a cut line, which suggests noticeable circulation wear along with a visible surface cut or line caused by damage, tooling, or contact with a sharp object. In fine condition, Lincoln's portrait is worn but clearly recognizable, with major details visible though flattened. The date and lettering are readable, and the wheat stalks on the reverse can still be identified, but finer lines are mostly worn smooth. The cut line is considered post-mint damage, which significantly lowers the collector value compared to a problem-free coin, even if overall wear is moderate. In today's market, a normal 1926 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition might be worth around $25 to $50 USD. However, because your coin has a noticeable cut line and scratches, its value is reduced. Coins with damage like this typically sell close to $10 to $20, depending on how severe the cut is and how clear the remaining details appear. Some collectors still purchase damaged coins as affordable examples to fill album spaces, but most serious collectors prefer undamaged pieces. Even with damage, the 1926 wheat penny still holds historical value. It circulated nearly a century ago, during a time when a single cent had real purchasing power and was used daily by millions of Americans. Each mark, scratch, and cut reflects its long journey through circulation, making it a small but tangible piece of U.S. history. While it may not be valuable in high dollar terms, it still tells a story of everyday life in the 1920s. Proper care is still important. Cleaning or polishing the coin is not recommended, as it can further damage the surface and reduce any remaining value. The best option is to store it in a protective coin flip or holder in a dry environment to prevent additional corrosion or wear. Even damaged coins benefit from proper storage, especially those made of copper. Next up, the 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and is part of the widely collected Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. By 1935, Lincoln pennies had been in circulation for over 25 years, and their design, created by Victor David Brenner, had become one of the most recognizable and enduring in U.S. coinage. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1935 to the right. The lack of a mint mark indicates it was produced at Philadelphia, which was the primary mint for Lincoln cents.
The 1935 Philadelphia issue had a substantial mintage of over 657 million coins, making it a common date. However, coins in very fine condition are more desirable to collectors because they retain sharp details and clear design elements. In this example, Lincoln's features, such as his hair, beard, and coat lines, remain well defined, while the wheat stalks on the reverse show minor wear but maintain visible details. The coin is described as having some scratches, which slightly reduce its eye appeal but do not significantly impact its overall grade or collectability. The composition of the 1935 Lincoln wheat cent is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown color when minted. Over time, exposure to air, handling, and storage conditions can darken the copper to various shades of brown. The natural toning on older pennies is often appreciated by collectors, even if minor scratches are present. In terms of market value, the 1935 Philadelphia Lincoln wheat cent in very fine condition with minor scratches typically sells for around 50 cents to $1.50 in today's market. Coins in extremely fine condition can fetch $2 to $3, while uncirculated examples with full red luster may range from $5 to $10 or more, depending on grading and eye appeal. Certified high-grade coins, especially with original mint color and sharp details, can command even higher prices. The 1935 Lincoln wheat penny also carries historical significance. It was minted during the Great Depression, a challenging time for Americans economically and socially. Every penny mattered, and these coins circulated in a country struggling to recover from economic hardship. They were used daily for small purchases like candy, newspapers, or postage stamps, and often saved by families for future use. Owning a coin like this offers a tangible connection to life during the 1930s, reflecting the resilience and perseverance of ordinary Americans. Despite its scratches, this coin is a collectible that appeals to both beginner and experienced collectors. It serves as a key piece for those completing a Philadelphia Mint collection or a general Lincoln wheat cent set. Its wear and marks tell a story of decades in circulation, making it a witness to nearly 90 years of American history.
Next up, the 1929 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic early 20th century U.S. coin that carries both historical and collector appeal. Because there is no mint mark below the date, this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the majority of Lincoln cents during that era. It belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse. This design remained in use until 1958 and is one of the most recognizable and widely collected coin designs in American history. The year 1929 is especially meaningful in U.S. history, as it marks the beginning of the Great Depression. Coins from this period circulated during a time of economic hardship, when even a single cent had significant purchasing power. The 1929 penny was struck in the traditional bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown tone when new that naturally darkened with age and circulation. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 185 million Lincoln cents in 1929, making it a common date, but condition and surface quality still play an important role in determining its value today. Your coin is described as being in very fine condition with some scratches, which means it shows light to moderate wear from circulation. In very fine condition, Lincoln's facial features, hair, and coat are still well defined, though the highest points show slight smoothing. The date and lettering are clear and bold, and the wheat stalks on the reverse retain most of their detail. The presence of scratches lowers the value somewhat, but it does not eliminate the coin's appeal as a collectible, especially for those building a complete set of Lincoln wheat pennies. In today's market, a 1929 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition generally has a value of around $0.75 to $1.5 USD. Coins with better eye appeal and fewer surface marks may sell for $2 or slightly more, while examples in extremely fine or almost uncirculated condition can reach $3 to $6. Uncirculated coins with original red color are worth significantly more, often $10 to $25 or higher, depending on quality and professional grading. Because your coin has some scratches, its value would most likely fall toward the lower to middle part of the very fine range, around $0.75 to $1.25. Although it is not a rare coin, the 1929 wheat penny is valued for its historical context. It circulated during the early days of the Great Depression, passing through the hands of Americans facing financial uncertainty and major social change. This connection to history adds meaning beyond its modest monetary value. Proper care is important to preserve the coin's remaining value. Cleaning or polishing is strongly discouraged, as it can remove natural patina and leave fine scratches that reduce collector appeal. Instead, the coin should be stored in a protective holder, coin flip, or album in a dry, stable environment. Even circulated coins benefit from careful handling and storage.
Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and belongs to one of the most historically interesting periods of the Lincoln cent series. Following the 1943 steel penny, which was produced during World War II to conserve copper for the war effort, the U.S. Mint returned to using a bronze alloy composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc in 1944. This means that every 1944 penny, including this Philadelphia issue, was made using recycled shell casings from the war, a detail that connects this small coin directly to America's wartime history. The coin described is in good condition with some scratches, meaning it shows moderate wear from circulation but retains all major design elements. In numismatic terms, good condition indicates that Lincoln's outline is visible, but the finer details, such as his hair, beard, and coat lines, are worn. The wheat stalks on the reverse are still identifiable, but lack sharp definition. The scratches suggest the coin may have experienced handling or friction with other coins over the years, which slightly lowers its collector value. The 1944 Philadelphia issue had an enormous mintage of over 1.4 billion coins, making it one of the most common dates in the Lincoln wheat penny series. Because of this high production, rarity is not a factor for this coin. Instead, condition determines its value. Despite its wear, this coin remains a historically significant collectible due to its wartime production background and its connection to the mid-20th century. In terms of market value, a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition with some scratches typically sells for around 10 to 20 cents. Coins in very fine condition can bring 25 to 50 cents, while extremely fine examples or uncirculated pennies may sell for $1 to $3. Fully uncirculated red coins, especially those certified by grading services, can command even higher prices, ranging from $5 to $10 or more, depending on luster and eye appeal. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny holds historical significance. It was minted at a time when the United States was deeply involved in World War II. Copper from recycled shell casings was used to make the coins, so each cent contains a small piece of wartime history. This makes it a tangible artifact of the era, connecting collectors to a period when Americans experienced rationing, patriotic mobilization, and post-war anticipation. Circulated coins like this one passed through countless hands: soldiers, families, shopkeepers, and schoolchildren, purchasing everyday goods, candies, and stamps. Each scratch and mark on the coin tells a story of its journey through decades of American life, making it more than just a small piece of copper, but a witness to history. Collectors value coins like this not only for their numismatic aspects, but also for the stories they embody. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark is one of the most distinctive coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Because there is no mint mark below the date, this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the largest number of steel cents in 1943. Unlike most Lincoln wheat pennies made of copper, this coin was minted from zinc-coated steel as a wartime emergency measure. During World War II, copper was urgently needed for military use, so the U.S. Mint changed the penny's composition for 1 year only. This decision gave birth to the famous 1943 steel cent, instantly recognizable by its silver-gray color. The design of the coin remains the classic Lincoln wheat penny created by Victor David Brenner. Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears on the obverse, while the reverse shows 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. Although the design did not change, the steel composition made these coins lighter and magnetic, setting them apart from all other wheat pennies. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 684 million steel cents in 1943, making the no mint mark version the most common of the steel pennies, yet it remains highly collectible because of its unusual metal and strong historical background. Your coin is described as being in fine condition with some scratches, meaning it has moderate circulation wear but still shows clear details. Lincoln's face, hair, and coat are visible, though the high points are worn smooth. The date and lettering remain sharp enough to read easily, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are clear but lack fine lines. Scratches are very common on steel cents because the thin zinc coating wears easily, and once it is damaged, the surface can show marks, dark spots, or dull areas. Even so, a fine condition example is still attractive to many collectors. In today's market, a 1943 steel penny without a mint mark in fine condition generally has a value of about 50 cents to $1.50 USD. Coins with better remaining zinc coating and fewer scratches may reach $2 to $3, while very fine or extra fine examples can sell for $3 to $5. Uncirculated steel cents with bright original surfaces and no corrosion can sell for $10 to $20 or more, depending on quality and certification. Because your coin has some scratches, its value would most likely fall toward the lower to middle part of the fine condition range, around 75 cents to $1.25. Although common, the 1943 steel penny holds strong historical significance. It was used in everyday transactions during a time when the entire nation was focused on the war effort. These coins passed through the hands of soldiers' families, factory workers, and civilians supporting World War II from home. This powerful historical connection makes the steel penny especially appealing to collectors, even in circulated condition. Steel pennies require special care because they are prone to corrosion if exposed to moisture. Cleaning the coin is not recommended, as it can remove the remaining zinc coating and cause rust to form on the steel underneath. The best way to preserve the coin is to store it in a dry, airtight holder, such as a coin flip or capsule, away from humidity. Next up, the 1955 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark was produced at the San Francisco Mint and is part of the final years of the beloved Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which spanned from 1909 to 1958. This coin carries the classic design by Victor David Brenner, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse. The obverse displays Lincoln's profile facing right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1955 to the right. The small S mint mark beneath the date identifies it as being struck in San Francisco. The coin described is in dirty condition, with some scratches, indicating it has seen significant circulation and environmental exposure over the decades. Dirt and grime can dull the coin's original luster, while scratches, caused by handling or contact with other coins, reduce its visual appeal. In coin grading terms, such a piece would fall into the good to fine range, depending on the visibility of Lincoln's facial details and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Despite the wear, the main design elements are still identifiable, which makes it collectible for historical or educational purposes.
The composition of the 1955 Lincoln cent is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown tone when freshly minted. Over time, circulation and exposure to air, moisture, and handling can turn the surface brown or even darker. Some collectors appreciate natural toning, but excessive dirt or corrosion lowers both aesthetic and market value. In terms of mintage, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny had a production of approximately 176 million coins, making it moderately common. While it is not rare, condition is the most important factor in determining its value today. A 1955 penny in dirty or heavily circulated condition with scratches typically has a market value of around 5 to 10 cents. Coins in better condition, fine to very fine, can fetch 25 to 50 cents, while extremely fine or uncirculated examples may sell for $1 to $5, depending on eye appeal and the richness of the original color. Certified uncirculated red coins in top grades can even reach $10 or more, particularly if they exhibit exceptional luster in minimal handling marks. While its monetary value may be modest, the historical context of the 1955 Lincoln penny adds interest. Mid-1950s America was a period of post-war growth, with rising consumerism, the baby boom, and increasing use of coins in daily life. Pennies like this were used for everything from candy and postage stamps to savings jars and school allowances. Every coin, no matter how small, was part of the country's growing economy and cultural fabric. Even in dirty condition, the 1955 Lincoln penny carries a story. Each scratch, darkened patch, and worn edge reflects decades of circulation, touching the hands of countless people, passing through ordinary transactions and enduring time. For collectors, coins like this provide a tangible link to mid-20th century life and the ongoing legacy of Abraham Lincoln as a symbol of integrity and resilience. In conclusion, the 1955 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an mint mark in dirty condition with some scratches holds a current market value of approximately 5 to 10 cents. While its numismatic worth is modest, it remains a meaningful collectible due to its historical significance, age, and place in the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. Even worn and circulated coins serve as small reminders of everyday American life in the 1950s, connecting collectors to both history and heritage.
Next up, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is an early and highly respected coin in the Lincoln Cent series. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is identified by the absence of a mint mark below the date, this coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. By 1919, the Lincoln cent had already become a permanent and trusted part of American currency, circulating widely across the country during a period of major social and economic change following World War I. The 1919 wheat penny was minted in the traditional bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. When freshly struck, these coins had a bright red appearance, but over time, most examples toned to red-brown or brown due to circulation in natural oxidation. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 392 million Lincoln cents in 1919, making it a common date in terms of mintage. However, because of its age, condition plays a very important role in determining its value today, and well-preserved examples are increasingly difficult to find. Your coin is described as being in extra fine condition with some scratches, which indicates relatively light wear compared to most coins of this age. In extra fine condition, Lincoln's facial features, hair details, and coat lines remain sharp, with only slight wear visible on the highest points. The date and lettering are bold and clear, and the wheat stalks on the reverse show strong detail with only minor flattening. The scratches you mentioned slightly reduce the coin's eye appeal, but they do not eliminate its collector value, especially since extra fine examples from 1919 are desirable. In today's market, a 1919 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition typically has a value of around 20 to 40 US dollars. Coins with very clean surfaces and attractive natural color may sell for 50 or slightly more, while examples graded about uncirculated can reach $1.50 to $1. Fully uncirculated red coins, particularly those certified by professional grading services, can sell for $300 or more, depending on quality and eye appeal. Because your coin has some scratches, its realistic market value would likely fall toward the lower to middle end of the extra fine range, approximately $20 to $30. Although the 1919 penny is not rare, it carries strong historical significance. It circulated during the post-World War I era, a time when America was transitioning from war to peace and undergoing major economic and social changes. Pennies from this period were used daily, making them witnesses to ordinary life nearly a century ago. This historical connection adds meaning beyond its dollar value and is one of the main reasons collectors continue to seek out early Lincoln wheat pennies. Proper care is important to protect the coin's remaining value. Cleaning or polishing is not recommended, as it can damage the original surface and leave fine scratches that reduce collector interest. Instead, the coin should be stored in a protective holder or coin flip, kept in a dry and stable environment to prevent further wear or corrosion. Natural toning and honest wear are often preferred by collectors over artificially cleaned surfaces. In summary, your 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition with some scratches has a current market value of approximately 2 to 4 US dollars, most likely around $2 to $3 given the surface marks. While its monetary value is moderate, it remains a meaningful collectible and a genuine piece of early 20th century American history, representing both the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the long-standing popularity of the Lincoln wheat penny series.